myself again. My name is Fernanda Chavez. I'm going to be giving you my teaching. It's a mini class. It's going to be about superlatives and comparatives. I know that you already know it because you have been studying that. And I want to ask you before we start, what do you remember about comparatives and superlatives? For example, you over there, the one with the one behind you. Yeah. What do you remember about comparatives? Do you remember something about it?
The comparatives are when you try to compare two things or people or places.
Okay. And you say, like, for example, this is bigger than this other.
A baseball ball is smaller than a basketball ball.
Exactly. And what about superlatives? What do you remember about those?
Superlatives are when you try to compare more than two objects or things in general.
And can you give me an example?
This tractor is bigger than a kindergarten.
Okay, so that would be an example for comparatives. But for superlatives, we can say, for example, who in here, do you want to give an example? Gustavo is friendlier than Caloca. Okay, yeah, it's okay, thank you. That could be also an example of comparatives. If you remember, superlatives is when you are, if you want to, for example, talk about more than two objects, and you want to say which one is like the biggest or the highest. So, for example, how old are you? You are like 15, 16? Is someone in here 17, maybe? No? Is someone in here 17? No. Not yet. What's your name? No, what's your name? Orlando. Okay, so let's imagine that Orlando is 17. So we would say Orlando is the oldest of the classroom.
There's actually a girl who's 17 in this classroom, but she's here because she usually doesn't help.
What's her name?
She's named Arlen.
Arlen.
Yeah, Arlen. I told you.
Arlen with a T.
I don't know.
Okay, so an example of superlatives could be Arlen or Arlet is the oldest of the classroom. She's the oldest. No one in this classroom is older than her. Yeah? Does it make sense? Perfect. So now with these being said, you already remember more or less comparatives and superlatives, right? So before we start class, I'm gonna call roll. Is that okay? Perfect. Okay. So, guys, before we continue with the activities of your book, I'm going to show you 3 images. And you are going to try to give me some sentences using those images. Okay? It's going to be really, really easy. You can give me an example of comparatives right now. Okay? So, for example, with this one, it's a dog and it's a cat. The dog is big and the cat is small. So, for example, can you give me an example?
Is bigger than the cat.
Exactly. The dog is bigger than the cat. Can you give me another example?
The cat is smaller than the dog.
The cat is smaller than the dog. Very good. And with the same picture, can you give me an example of superlatives?
The dog is bigger and less than small.
Okay, nice. That could be an example of comparatives. What about superlatives?
Me?
Anyone? For example, you. Can you give me an example of superlatives? No? It's fine.
Alex, yeah.
Alex. Who's Alex?
They call it. What was the superlative? I forgot again.
Superlatives is when you have, for example, more than 2 things and you want to say which one is like the highest.
Like, the cat and the dog are more smaller than the giraffe. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, it can be.
I can see the image.
Don't worry, can you give me an example?
The dog is the biggest animal.
Exactly. The dog is the nothing in this picture is bigger than the dog. He's the biggest. Okay? Very good. So now, let's imagine, it's because we don't have a whiteboard, so I cannot write things on the wall. No, we don't have it. Let's imagine that this book is interesting and the other books are not. This one is interesting and the others are not. Can you give me an example of comparatives?
The other books are smaller than.
The other books are smaller than this one.
This one is bigger.
This one is big. Okay,
Than
yeah,
the
it could be
others.
an example for comparatives. Very good. Another one?
That one book is more interesting than the others.
Okay, very good. More interesting. She said more interesting instead of adding ER at the end of the adjective. Why is that? Do you remember?
Yeah, because we can use that. We can use the I don't know why we
You don't know why, but you know that you
Yeah.
can. Okay. So that happens when the adjective that you're going to use has more than 2 syllables. It means that it's too long to add ER. You cannot say more like interesting or because it sounds weird, right? So you should add more to make that emphasis on that it's bigger. Yeah? So okay, I know your teacher told me that you did page 79, the last part. You did it for homework, right? Okay, so we are going to check your answers and then we're going to continue working. Okay? So it says answer the question as in the example, and it has the first one. It says which is taller, a giraffe or an elephant? And the answer is a giraffe is taller than an elephant. So the second one says which is faster, a motorbike or a cheetah? Padilla Acuña. Is here? Can you give me your answer?
Fastly.
Oh, in page 79. Page 79, the last part of the page. The one of the motorbike and the cheetah.
A motorbike is faster than the cheetah.
A motorbike is faster than the cheetah? Are you sure? Maybe, right? Okay, very good. Thank you. Now, Schlemmer Cuevas. Are you here? Schlemmer is here? Okay, can you give me the answer of which is bigger, America or Russia? Which is bigger? Russia? Okay, can you give me the full sentence?
Is the bigger America?
Okay, Russia is bigger than America, right? Do you all have it like that?
See.
Okay, very good. So now, let's continue working in page 79, but we're going to continue with the upper part, the part that you didn't do. It says, fill in the blanks using the correct form of the adjective to have a comparative sentence. Right now, I'm going to ask you to raise your hand if you want to participate, okay? If not, I'm going to be choosing from the list, yeah? The letter A is this. A Ferrari is faster than a motorbike. Very good, thank you so much. Then, number 2, it says, I think Anne's sister is friendlier, very good, than her brother. Perfect, very good. Then, number 3, James is, first he's tall than his brother, but his brother is attractive than he is. Who wants to help me with that one? It has 2 answers, that one. More attractive, and the first one that says tall.
Taller.
Taller. More attractive. Okay, so you're so far away from me. I know maybe you won't be able to see, but right here I have some pictures. For example, this is a dinosaur. This is an ant. These are happy faces, sad faces. These are like something that's hot, something that's hotter, and then we have the sun, which is the hottest, right? And some things that are cold. So I'm going to be showing you this image, and I want you to help me create sentences using the words that are right here. You already have the categories. These are the smaller ones, and these are the biggest ones. So if you can please help me giving me examples, and you'll see. You can't, right? Okay. Can you choose one? Now you're going to give me an example with comparatives.
Okay. Okay. Happy. No, mother.
What?
I'm gonna use mother.
Okay. Don't worry. Take your time.
Okay. Jorge is smaller than me.
Jorge is smaller than who's Jorge?
Solo este.
Are you? Can you guys stand up?
¿Dónde está? Okay, no, así no debe ser.
You can say. Go up. It's fine. Thank you. Now, Sanchez Aguilar. Who is Sanchez Aguilar? Can you give me an example? You have a paper over there. I don't know who has it. It could be anything. You can choose between comparatives or superlatives. To continue with it's page 74 of your book. Can you please go to page 74 of your book? It's going back on your book. We were in page 79, and now we're going to page 74. 74. We are over there. Will you see the pictures? Okay, wait. We have some sentences there. All of the sentences, or most of the sentences, are comparatives. I'm going to give you 5 minutes for you to try and complete the activity, and then we're going to check together, okay? And that way I can know if you have any questions, if you need help. So I'm going to give you 5 minutes for you to work on it, and then we start checking, okay?
¿Pero qué? No, dilo. Dilo decir. Dime el pero. Dime tu pero. No está fea.
¿Quién es Diego? Asaltador de camión.
Salazar. Absent. Paredes Jacobo. You can give it a try. You can try. It's number 9. Remember that you just need to use the word in parentheses and add as, the word in parentheses, and as again. Exactly. Nick is as brave as Kevin. That's perfect. Now, number 10. It says, silver is not as heavy as gold. Do we all have it like that? Not as heavy as gold. Perfect. Now, 11. Over here, it's, what's your name? Jorge. Jorge. Can you help me with number 11? Yes. Yeah. Okay, guys, we are going to stop right here because I don't want to take your time to go to the next class. But I just wanted to say thank you for helping me today. That will be it. If you have any more questions, you can ask me or your teacher, and I'm sure you will be checking the rest of the activities next class. Okay? Thank you so much.